Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Sydney and today I am going to talk about my favorite songs of 2020, and I am so excited because I love music and I thought it would be fun to look back on the year and reflect on just like some really good songs that came out and just kind of share my favorite music that came out in 2020. I'm going to leave a link to my Spotify playlist of the songs that I think that were the best that came out in 2020. So I'm not going to cover every single song in this video, but I thought I would talk about some of my favorite songs, so I'm really excited about it. So quick disclaimer, I'm actually not going to play any of the songs because I actually don't really know how copyright works on YouTube, and like I'm not trying to get copyrighted. So I'm just gonna talk about the songs. Like I said, I will leave a link in the description for you to go and look at my Spotify playlist and just go check out some songs that I've loved from this year. So let's get right into it. So I thought it would be best if I first talked about the best albums that came out this year and then just like some songs that I've liked. So I thought there were a lot of really solid albums that came out in 2020, so I thought I'd talk about some of my favorite albums and just some of my favorite songs from those albums. Now, I didn't listen to everything, obviously, from 2020, so like if there's something that I missed, I'm so sorry. These are just the songs that I've listened to, that I've loved, and if there's some songs that I didn't mention that you loved from this year, let me know in the comment section below. So, one of my favorite albums of this year was Future Nostalgia by Dua Lipa. Let me tell you, I love Dua Lipa. She is so talented. She's so unbelievably talented. Like, I love her vocals, like her lower register. She has such a great voice, but Future Nostalgia is one of my favorite albums of 2020, and I think it came out like literally in the beginning of the pandemic, and I don't know, I was listening to the album all the time. It is so good. It has a lot of like 80s sounds to it. Like every single song is such a feel-good track. So I'm gonna tell you some of my favorites from Future Nostalgia. It's probably gonna be like over half the album because it is such a good album. So some of my favorites from Future Nostalgia are the title track, number 1, Future Nostalgia. Of course, Don't Start Now, because, you know, that was a bop. That did come out at the end of last year, but the whole album, I'm just gonna count it for this year because the whole album came out this year. Cool, Physical, Levitating. Oh my gosh, Levitating is such a good song. And the music video, I don't know, she makes such a masterpiece out of all her music. She's so good. And I've actually loved her music ever since her first album, because her first album is really good. And then her second album is just that much better. I just think she's always improving, and I don't know. She's just a very underrated artist, and I think she deserves a lot more credit. So, but some of my other favorite tracks from Future Nostalgia are Hallucinate, Love Again, and Break My Heart. Now, I love Break My Heart because the first ever TikTok that I made, like it's not up anymore, but it was like to that song, and it's so good. Go give Future Nostalgia a listen if you haven't. Those are just some of my favorite songs from that album. So the next album that I'm really excited to talk about is Wonder by Shawn Mendes, and Shawn Mendes is honestly one of my favorite male artists. I was really excited when I heard he was coming out with an album this year because I've probably been a fan of him ever since like he was in MagCon, a little bit after, like ever since he released his first album. So it's crazy to me that this is his 4th album. I feel like Shawn Mendes is one of those artists that like he just keeps getting better. And like you don't think he can top his next album, but he always does. Ever since he came out with his last album, which is so good. I just think Shawn Mendes gets better with every single album that he releases, so I love Wonder. And I thought that this is such a great piece of work, and I love listening to it, and I listen to some of these songs every day. So, some of my favorite songs from Wonder are the intro, because like, it's so beautiful. I love Wonder, I love Teach Me How to Love, I love Dream, and I love the song Monster with Justin Bieber, which that is so crazy that Shawn Mendes released a song with Justin Bieber, because Shawn Mendes used to be a huge fan of Justin Bieber, because it's just funny how Shawn was so inspired by Justin did not even know who Shawn was, and now here they are like making a song together. Go listen to Monster if you haven't yet. In fact, go listen to all of Wonder because it is a masterpiece. And I also love 305. Selena Gomez came out with an album in January and it is called Rare. So my favorite songs from Rare are Look at Her Now and Vulnerable. I really like Vulnerable because, I don't know, I feel good every single time I listen to that song. Like, I love Vulnerable because I feel like it's a song that I would listen to walking into like Forever 21. Like, that's like a good thing. Like, you know, like sometimes like I walk into the mall or walk into any kind of store in the mall and I want to hear a song that makes me feel good. Like, Vulnerable is one of those songs that just kind of like makes you feel good, and I just feel like it's a lot of fun. I love that song, and I don't know, just gives you a lot of very feel good vibes. So Taylor Swift released not one but 2 albums this year, which is insane. I actually haven't listened to Evermore, so if you have, let me know what are like some of the best songs in the album, because I do have yet to listen to that album, but I did listen to Folklore. I like Folklore because I think that it was something that she really needed for her career. And I just feel like it was just something that she needed something different in her catalog. So that's why I really like Folklore. So some of my favorites from Folklore include The Last Great American Dynasty, August, This Is Me Trying, Illicit Affairs, and Betty. So Halsey is another one who released an album this year, who I kind of forgot that she released an album this year because she released it in January, but this song came out last December, but it came out in her album that was released this year, so that's why I'm including it in here. So it's called Finally / Beautiful Stranger. It's a slow song, and I kind of like this sound from her because I feel like she doesn't come out with a lot of music like this. Because, I don't know, it's just something that I feel like she needed, like, for her career. I don't know, she doesn't come out with many songs that sound like this, so I don't know, it's so like romantic and it makes me kind of like want to fall in love, but I definitely like this song, so I think this is like one of her best songs. So that's a song that I like from Manic, I think is what it's called, but it's very, very good. So another person who released an album this year, I think he released his album back in March, but it's Niall Horan. I forgot that he released an album this year. I love when like any member of One Direction comes out with solo music because, I don't know, I just kind of feel like I'm listening to like a One Direction album all over again. So Niall came out with his album Heartbreak Weather, which is really, really good. And I've really enjoyed listening to it, so I don't know. Niall is one of my favorite solo members from One Direction. Like, I feel like he really like made a name for himself, and I feel like he did a lot better as a solo artist than like I thought he would. Like, I didn't think he would do this well. Like, I knew Niall was going to do well, but I didn't think he would do this well, if that makes sense. Like, he's so talented, especially in this album, and the sound that he has from Heartbreak Weather is the sound that I feel like he should continue to make and just kind of build upon that with like future songs that he makes. So some of my favorite songs from Heartbreak Weather include Heartbreak Weather, Black and White, Nice to Meet Ya, Put a Little Love on Me, Everywhere, Cross Your Mind, and No Judgment. So it's a very good album. Definitely go check it out because I think it's really good. So yeah, definitely go listen to Niall's new album if you haven't heard it yet. I think it came back out in March. Anything that came out before like the beginning of the pandemic, like this year, I kind of forget came out in 2020, if that makes any sense. But speaking of One Direction solo members, another member that came out with an album this year was Louis. Wow. Louis Tomlinson came out with an album this year, and he was the last person from One Direction who had yet to like release a solo album, and I'm so glad that he did because it's such a good album. So yeah, I'm very proud that Louis came out with an album this year. So I definitely think that this was a very good album. I feel like it was a good album to start his solo career. So some of my favorite songs from Walls are Kill My Mind, Don't Let It Break Your Heart, We Made It, and of course, Walls. So definitely go listen to Louis' album because I feel like, I don't know, it's just a really, really good album, and definitely go listen to it because it definitely like defines Louis. I think every member of One Direction has their own distinct sound, but you could still tell that they have sounds that like they gathered, like, you know, they were inspired from some of like their old One Direction sounds, if that makes any sense. Like, I feel like every sound that each solo One Direction member has fits them perfectly, and this song fits Louis because it's very alternative, kind of pop alternative in a way. So definitely go listen to it if you like that kind of sound. But yeah, I'm really happy that Louis released an album this year. So, the next album that I am so excited to talk about that came out this year is Confetti by Little Mix. I really think that Confetti is one of the best albums that they have as a band, but I was so sad because Jessie Nelson recently just left Little Mix, so this is the last album with all four of them. But I do love Confetti. Like I said, I think it's one of their best albums. It's a very fun, poppy, upbeat album. So some of my favorite songs from Confetti include Gloves Up, If You Want My Love, A Mess, Happy For You, Sweet Melodies, Nothing But My Feelings, and also Not a Pop Song. So the last album I'm going to talk about that came out this year was Positions by Ariana Grande, which I thought was a really good album. I mean, I wouldn't say it was like my favorite album by her, but my favorite songs from the album are POV and Safety Net. So some other songs that I really loved that came out this year are Blinding Lights by The Weeknd. I also love Rain On Me by Lady Gaga featuring Ariana Grande. I really liked Hold Me While You Wait and Before You Go by Lewis Capaldi. I love Justin Bieber and Ariana Grande's collaboration on Stuck With You. I thought that was a really cute song, especially to come out this year. I felt like it was very fitting for 2020. So I don't know, I thought that was a really good song that came out this year, so I really like that. Selfish by Madison Beer is another song that I loved that came out this year that I thought was really good, so definitely go give it a listen. I love the song Past Life by Trevor Daniel featuring, I like the version with Selena Gomez, so that's kind of when I started listening to the song, so I like that song. I also love Moral of the Story by Ash featuring Niall Horan. I like the song Mood by 24K Golden and Ian Dior. I also love the song Golden and Watermelon Sugar by Harry Styles. I know they came out last year, but I feel like they were really they really were on the radio a lot this year, so that's why I'm counting those songs for 2020. I also love the song Nobody Compares to You. It was in the movie To All the Boys, P.S. I Still Love You, which is the reason why I love that song, because I love that movie, and I just kind of associate that song with the movie, so every time I listen to it, I don't know, I think it's a really cute song, and I love that movie. And then the last song that I really like that came out this year, I think came out later this year, was Lonely by Justin Bieber. So those are some of my favorite songs of 2020. Like I said, sorry if there's some that I missed. I feel like there's other songs that I like that I just can't even think about right now that I forgot to talk about, but those were definitely some of my favorites. So if I didn't mention one of your favorite songs, definitely let me know what some of your favorite songs of 2020 were down in the comment section below. So yeah, definitely give this video a thumbs up, give it a like, and subscribe, and give it a comment as well with some of your favorite songs of 2020, and I hope to see you next time. Also, just let me know some other videos that you would like to see. So yeah, I had a lot of fun making this video, and I hope you enjoyed it too. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!